Hey everybody, Lauren McLaughlin here. We are experiencing some pretty significant technical difficulties with our program that we're using for the No Smoke Pickleball show. So we are trying to just do a Facebook Live situation and try and get the Newmans back on here in a minute. So please bear with us. We're going to try and get them on and see what we can do here. Momentary.
She needs the view.
What's up?
She needs to be viewing to add her.
She was. Oh. Lindsay, are you watching?
No.
Hang on one second, people. Someone tag the Newmans in this video and tell them we need them to be watching so that we can add them on this. Guys, technical difficulties are amazing. There she is. Okay, hang on, Lindsay. How do I add her, though? Someone tell me how to add somebody on a Facebook Live. Scott Golden knows how to do this. We are so unprofessional, guys. Ooh, hang on. Nope, none of those options are correct. I don't understand. Facebook is upsetting to me, guys. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Gary, Dana, welcome. It's been a bit of a shit show, so that's fun. But, you know. Scott Golden, how do I add somebody on Facebook Live? Scott Golden, I need your help.
It should be that.
I know, but then it doesn't. It has Scott and Gary. There's got to be like maybe a like setting that they have to do somewhere.
They need to be on a phone.
Lindsay, are you on a phone? I think you need to be on a phone. If you're on a phone, maybe you can like invite yourself to be on. I think Scott Golden's done that to me before. Thank you. Scott Golden said happy birthday, Kyle.
Thank you.
Rob, welcome. Hey, everybody. We are going to get the Newmans on here. I swear to you. It's going to happen, guys. We were having an awesome time chatting with them. They're super fun to talk to. And
go to that and see if you can.
They have to be on a phone.
Yeah.
Also, they have to send an invite if you can't add them. Okay, so Lindsay or Riley, get on a phone. Be watching this. And then you have to invite yourself. No, I see you, Lindsay. We're doing this. It's happening. We're doing it.
Oh, that works.
Oh my God, guys.
Okay. So you need to put headphones in your phone and maybe share them, and we have to do the same thing. Technology. Here for your left ear. And you for your please take this.
Thanks, Rob. It's true. Do you want to take this?
I'm hearing reverb. Yes, there.
There they are.
Can you
there
hear
it
us?
is. Yes. Can you hear us?
Yep,
Yes.
we're good.
All right, we're back.
We're back, guys. We're back.
And there's
Yeah.
no more technical difficulties.
All right, guys. All right. So,
So we use a program
Welcome.
outside of Facebook,
yes.
and it's very hard on my 2012 MacBook.
Mac computer.
Mac computer.
Okay,
So.
no worries.
All right, guys. This is going to be an amazing breakup of all these parts. When we post them on Facebook, it's going to be like, oh, hey, what did we talk about in this section? What did we talk about before it froze again? And now we're onto this section, and it's amazing.
Third time's
But
a
look,
charm.
We got 24 people back
Woohoo!
already. So thanks,
everyone.
guys. Quick, share this to the forum. Everybody you know, be like, guys, it's back. They're back.
Back
We're
people.
back for the
Back
Oh,
in
man.
town.
Oh, goodness. Thank you, Webby. Big props for handling technical issues on the fly. I am very sweaty. I'm
Oh.
very sweaty, guys. It's very stressful. Okay, so what were we talking about?
We
No
were
clue.
talking about your guys' U.S. Open experience in 2008 or 2018.
That is true.
And
Came on the scene.
Just like your guys' like breakout party. I would say that was probably your guys' breakout party, correct?
Really?
I would probably say so. I mean, it was our first big tournament
coming out
on the
party?
East
Big
Coast.
coming out party.
Had a few good wins. I know it was like a 16-14 battle with Stone, and the guy was just a killer out there. But then Lindsey ended up clutching it up, and we ended up winning, and it was a fun tournament.
So then, like after that, like what do you guys think like propelled your game to like another level?
Well,
Probably the
honestly,
losing, right?
Yeah,
The
we
losing.
hate losing. Yeah, losing. We took that really, really hard. I mean, if there's anything we hate more than losing, it's losing. So, we luckily had a nice, 5 or 6 hour plane ride on the way back home, and
Didn't kill each other, but
did kill each other. Typically, when we have a hard loss or any loss at all, we take some time apart, kind of gather our thoughts. We're both so invested in winning, and we want to do really well. And when that doesn't happen, we can get upset and mad at each other. We are brother sister. That's kind of normal. So. Yeah, I think it took us some time to breathe a little bit, and then we wanted to get right back on the high horse and continue to try to do as best we can and win as many tournaments as we can. And yeah.
Did you guys start like drilling more, or did you guys like kind of like go back to the drawing board and be like, hey, maybe we need to work on this more, or you just want just play more rec and
I think
play some more
I
tournaments?
think I personally, I wasn't too big of like a YouTube guy when I first started playing pickleball. I think after the U.S. Open, I was like, well, shoot, we just got like 8th, 9th place. What do we need to do to get to that next level? So then I went on YouTube and I saw some good matches being played at the highest level, and then learning that dinking is important, third shot drop is necessary. So just kind of learning the game after that U.S. Open, I think was big for me at least.
Yeah, and
Yeah, so
and honestly, we love to play, and we love to be on the same side of the court and battle in doubles. But I think we also kind of decided that our game in general needed work, so we kind of started practicing a lot of singles and drilling on the opposite side of the court from each other, because we know that we're probably each other's best competition. And nothing brings out our best game than playing against your brother or sister. So we picked up our play more, whether that was drilling or playing against each other or just playing rec games. We wanted to get out onto the court, and we wanted to just play.
Well, speaking of you guys playing together as siblings, obviously, like I have played some with my brother as well, so I get the sibling dynamic. I think we're about the same age range that you guys are. I'm older than my brother by a couple years, and I think unlike you guys where you're just like all in all the time, like we're much more laid back. So, but the same thing is like we have very similar styles, we have very similar personalities, which I would say is probably the same for you guys. But what's crazy is you guys, for being as competitive as you are, like I have never seen you guys, you don't go after each other on the court, you don't really yell at each other. Like there might be like some looks or like some little things, but really like he mentioned before, like I get in my brother's face and I'm like, get it together, like get it together. And he's just like, fine, I'm doing it, whatever. But like, you guys are pretty chill. Like, do you guys just have like an unspoken, I will murder you later if you don't get it together situation going on?
I think back in the day, during our tennis days, I was like in 5th grade, as our whole family was out on the tennis courts, and me and Lindsey were duking it out like we always do. And I remember I lost, and I took my racket and I threw it to the other side of the court to try and hit her. And then after that moment, Lindsey gave me this absolute scolding of never do this again, never treat me like that again. And ever since then, it's normally just the looks of evil is what I'll usually get from Lindsey if, I'm not doing something right or if we're not playing well or vice versa.
And honestly, because we are brother sister and we've been competing against each other for so long, I don't think I need to yell at Riley. I don't think he needs to yell at me. We know when we make a mistake. We know when we should be playing better. And that also goes, I mean, a lot of times if we're doing really well or one of us hits a really good shot, most of the time we don't even tell each other a good shot because we don't have to. Like,
Don't need it.
That's
we
also
know,
true.
like, we know when we hit a good shot. We know if, someone got lucky on a shot. Like, we know that. We don't have to communicate that. Riley and I are so zoned in 100% of the time when we're out on the court that any extra talking or extra thinking we need to do, I think just screws us up.
Yeah, like I'm like that too. I don't need my ego stroked while I'm playing, so I prefer
Yeah.
not to have any compliments either.
Exactly.
Conserving the energy.
Well, that's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's another thing that I wanted to ask is I found it very fascinating, Lindsay. So you guys, you're really good at taking like strategic timeouts when you guys are, you've like a couple points down. Like I feel like when I have like live streamed you guys or watched you guys play, like it's pretty easy to judge when you guys are going to take a timeout because you really don't let like too many points go by unanswered before you're like taking a timeout, like just getting it together. But you guys, unlike almost every other team, like you guys don't talk during timeouts. Lindsay, you walk over to the corner by yourself and you just have like a little private chat with yourself. And so I really would like to know what goes on over in the corner, Lindsay.
I get asked that a lot. I guess I should stop doing that because it's drawing attention to myself. Honestly,
Well, it's different.
yeah. I mean, I'm a big person that believes in talking to themselves. I do it at my house all the time. I know it sounds weird, hence like, do you have friends? But it's mostly, especially if we're playing bad, which is when we would typically call a timeout. I'm usually calling myself an idiot, a dumb blonde, a moron. Like Kyle said, I don't need to like give myself a pep talk. That's not how I roll. I've always been very brutally honest with myself. Riley's the same way. We get motivated by like, bucking up and telling us to suck it up and move on. And so yeah, I hope I'm not heard on your stream because
No.
probably not
But
be very good.
Kyle is the long lost Newman, I have decided, because like he is legit. Like you guys have a very eerily similar like philosophy of winning or losing and like how you got coached and what you tell yourself. Because I'm all about like pep talk, positivity. And it's funny because when I like live stream, I always joke that like, oh, Lindsay's giving herself a little pep talk. She's just needs to work some stuff out. But really, like you're over like
yelling at
yourself, which is like I'm so like, oh, that makes me sad. Like I want someone to be like, come on, Lindsay, like you can do it. You're great. And like he's all like, no, like coaching is like you suck. Get it together. You're terrible.
Like,
and I'm like, oh.
I had a lot of constructive criticism
Yeah.
from coaching. So that's what I'm used to. And like I can handle that. But like I know a lot of people in this generation like that's
they need their hands
They
held.
want to
That
be
means,
baby,
like,
and
you're
that drives us
big-
nuts.
Yeah, they like or now it's like bullying. So like I gotta really like when I want to be honest with people, I always have to be like, can I be honest with you?
Yeah, you
Like I
have
have
to
to
ask
phrase it.
permission.
Permission to be honest, like, but that's just how I kind of grew up, and that's
That's
just
why you're apparently a Newman.
Welcome
You
to
should
the
go hang
club.
out with them in Washington.
Yeah.
Kyle, I got
Where
5
their family
sisters.
is.
I always need another brother. Come on board.
Yes, that's so true.
Well, Lauren kind of looks like she's a long lost Newman
I could
as
fit.
well.
I
Like,
could be a
You fit
Newman.
really
right?
well.
Could
You
fit
got
in.
the fair skin, the blonde hair.
For sure. I got the blonde hair.
You
It's
got
pretty
it.
long. I got to start braiding it though.
You just need to be meaner to yourself. You're a little
Yeah.
too positive
Too-
for us.
too nice.
That's
Yeah.
true. That's true. I gotta dial it back a
You
little.
do, yeah.
So I guess the next question a lot of people want to kind of know is you guys have a very interesting style in terms of you guys hit a lot of two-handed backhands, including when you're dinking. Like, was that just natural? Like when you guys started playing, like, because like no one really sees the two-hand backhand dink.
Yeah.
Like, they don't do it as much as you guys. So I hear you guys do it in table tennis as well. Is that true?
That's crazy how you know this, but so
Yeah, dude.
He
tennis,
knows everything.
We do our
tennis, ping
research on
pong, anything with a racket, it's always going to be two hands. I know in ping pong, I got to like completely like choke up and like barely
I
get
know
it.
you're just like,
But I just have so much control and so much power with that two-handed backhand that I haven't even thought about going to a one-hander ever in pickleball. So I can even, dink pretty comfortably. I can block amazingly with my two hands, and then I can kind of do that roll shot when I'm dinking and just kind of roll it up at the guy across from me. So I love my two-handed backhand, and I know Lindsay does too.
Yeah, I mean, we'll try to like dink, we'll say like we should try the one-handed today, and we'll dink like twice, and it's just ugly. We're
Comes
not
up
good
behind.
enough. Yeah, we're not good enough to do the one-handed backhand, so we're gonna stick with the two. We like the two. We're very, very comfortable. That comes from, our tennis background of picking up a racket when we were 2 years old. Um, so yeah, we couldn't imagine playing without our two-handed backhand.
is it a family thing? Does the whole family do it?
Yeah,
Every
everyone
single
does
person.
it.
If you have a one-handed
You're gonna
backhand,
have
you're
to.
eliminated. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Kyle,
I
do you
know
have a
you can't
two-handed
be
or
a
a
part.
one-handed backhand?
Like I don't come from any racket backhand. So like it was
Uh-oh.
funny when you said the YouTube thing. Like literally, like I just faked it till I made it. Like I just tried imitating people, and like along the way, like I developed one-handed because like
See, Riley,
I
if
had
you
to
guys
think
had
too
been
much.
around when
Yeah.
he started, he could have watched your
There you
videos
go.
and got the two-handed,
Yeah, but
I
and then he
had
would
I
have
yeah.
been
have to
all
think
about
too
it.
much with the two-handed
It's never too
backhand.
late to start trying a two-handed backhand. We'll say that.
So
Don't
it's
give
really
up.
weird because I was messing around with it, and then like I was thinking so much, and that's like the worst thing you want to do in sports is be thinking, and like I couldn't like then like my one-handed backhand felt this like I didn't know what I was doing
It
anymore.
like
It
threw him
was
off.
like
He
Yeah.
didn't know what he
threw me
was
off. So
doing.
I'm like enough with that. Just stick with your backhand cut
Yeah.
Yeah.
and this move from there. But like that's what I was gonna ask too. Like do you ever feel it's a disadvantage not being able to cut the ball with your backhand or anything like
I feel
that?
like we can cut it with the
Can you cut it?
two-handed. Yeah,
Can you
I mean, we did it in tennis, like, the back
Slice.
slice.
slice?
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, we don't use it a lot. I think sometimes we'll use like the backhanded slice or chip shot when we're like returning a serve. Um,
Yeah.
and that works for us pretty well. But I mean, I don't
Yeah,
know.
I don't, the slicing we've never really, at least from the backhand side, when
Yeah, I'm just talking from the backhand
yeah, when I'm
side.
rolling, cross court
It's
dinks, it's pretty
mhm,
deceptive for my opponents when I then flick it
mhm.
instead of going slice, 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 because then it's a little bit easier to read from an opponent's perspective. If I'm slicing, well, I'm going to probably change my grip to then go, speed up. So I think it's a little bit more deceptive, and then kind of going off that, yeah.
I know Morgan Evans asked, this was before, how did he just randomly asked, how's the grip change coming along? What is the grip change,
So
first of all?
yeah, my forehand, coming from a tennis, I had like a semi-Western grip, is what they call it.
Yep.
And
Mm-hmm.
so from tennis, I just switched to pickleball and put my hand how I normally hit it on the racket, and I'm completely over. So I'm having a little bit of trouble in my singles game of kind of hitting a flat forehand shot. So after Vegas, I'm gonna go back to the practice courts, get a ball machine, and hit a flatter forehand, and just go from there and see how it works out.
Yeah, because like I think I have more of a semi-Western grip. So like I'm kind of rotated. So it's like a forehand kind of grip, right? And that's why you have a two-handed backhand
Yeah, I
for the
think
most part, right?
at times my forehand dink is a little tricky because it's, I grip it at such a severe rate that it's a little tricky to dink it sometimes. So then I'm
Because
just
your paddle face is closed, right,
exactly,
Riley?
it's close. So then I have to kind of give myself some room and have a couple steps so then I can kind of generate my own pace on it because of my grip.
Now, do you usually hit like a flat forehand? Do you hit any underslice with your forehand dink, or do you hit
It'll usually
topspin?
be a cut. It'll usually be a cut
A cut.
slice. Then I can still roll it, but I kind of need a little bit more time just because of that grip. So, kind of right after Vegas, I have October to drill it, and then about 30, 40 days until nationals. So it's a little bit of a gamble, but
Wow,
if I get on the
yeah,
court,
change it up right before a big
yeah,
thing.
if I
Yeah.
get on the court every day, I can make it happen.
But I still think, Riley, that you're okay, especially if you love a two-handed backhand, that you can get away with that. Because like I have
Don't
almost
listen to
got
that Morgan guy. I don't know what he's like.
yeah. What
Who
kind of
gave this
coach is
guy
that?
degree in coaching. Jeez.
Like, yeah, I don't know. Like, I use that grip, and I have a one-handed backhand, and I have to like cock my wrist to get like close, like to close the face, so I can get on top of it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's just something you adapt, and that's probably coming from absolutely no background in this bad habit. So
yeah, I just know from the baseline. From the baseline, I can't flatten it out like I want it to at times. It's a little loopy. Coming from tennis, I hit a heavy topspin forehand.
Topspin.
So in pickleball, you know, the heavy spin isn't always the greatest shot because it's a wiffle ball, and you need to kind of drive that sucker.
Drive it. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Well, so Lindsey, my big question for you is, you are, and I think we were talking at TOC, I was commentating, I think one of your games or someone else, and the Ernie came up, and we were talking about kind of like which ladies in the game like love the Ernie, and your name was definitely brought up because you do love a good Ernie. Was that something that you were like excited about once you got, because obviously like you don't Ernie in tennis, like there's no real like Ernie situation. So when you got into pickleball and we're like, oh my gosh, like there's all these crazy other things that I can do. Like, when did you first fall in love with the Ernie?
I don't know if I'm like in love with the Ernie.
She is. She is.
I mean, you do it like you are.
I do it, but it's more like just strategically. I think it's smart to be able to have that like in your little pocket and be able to use it a lot. Honestly, I think I like an around the post shot a little bit more than the Ernie. But I know Riley and I, like when we were playing at the US Open, I probably played off the court more than half the time, just waiting for an Ernie opportunity. So yeah, you're right. I probably do like it more than I admit. But
and this kind of brings me to my next question with this is like, so like usually in mixed doubles, like you'll always see like usually the guy on the ad side. But you guys are kind of like reverse stacking, Lindsey, with like you on the ad side. Is there a reason why you guys are doing this, and Riley, you on the do side?
I guess we don't understand why we would stack. Like we're both very comfortable.
You guys are stacking. I know you guys are stacking the other way though.
I know.
At TOC.
Like, can we switch?
Yeah, because more balls are going to the backhand side. So
like
more balls are
you're
coming
on
to
the
you.
left side.
Oh.
Yeah, you're on the left side. And like, you know, like in a
This is the first time Lindsey's heard of stacking, so she doesn't
She
know
hates
what
doing
it is.
it. Hates doing
I
it.
literally
I hate stacking too.
That's why we do that like little switch thing. People are like, why do you do that? But stacking, like we can tell we significantly worsen our game when we have to like legit stack, because it just confuses our minds. It's a little too elite for us. But I don't know why I guess.
I think Lindsey, when she's on that backhand side, she can go down the line with the girl. And Lindsey's down the line dinks are very, very steady. And I know a lot of girls, they don't like dinking straight ahead. So a lot of girls will want to go cross court. But Lindsey's dink down the line is solid, so we like kind of sometimes facing it up with the girl. And
that's what I thought. I thought you guys wanted to put Lindsey, you in front of the girl, because like they're always stacking like the traditional way, where they have the girl on the do side on the right side. So like that's what I kind of thought. Maybe you guys like.
Yeah.
Then Lindsey can Ernie. Then she can Ernie. It sets her up for the Ernie.
Then she can Ernie with the forehand.
And my other follow-up to the Ernie that I love watching you do is you'll go for the Ernie. If you don't get it, then you'll come back and you'll just straddle the kitchen line corner. And you just like do the splits over it, and you're just like, I dare you to even hit it close to this corner. I will
I'm
just
very
whack
comfortable.
it at you.
I'm very comfortable straddling that line. I have no problem doing it, and Riley is so long and lengthy and quick that I don't think we're leaving any room to pass up. Like even if I'm halfway off the court, like Riley can still cover the rest of the court and obviously be totally fine. So I think that puts a little bit more pressure on the chick to make like a really good shot. And
she does get in that full squat position with her paddle, just kind of ready.
I love it.
I love the tomahawk. The boom. That's
a little ping pong slap.
I
don't think that's like a legit shot, but I'm using it.
It's pickleball. Like there's so much random stuff that goes on. I see girls that have like the reverse ping pong.
Yeah, that thing, backhand.
Yeah.
The punch.
The punch like that. So I think you guys are also pretty well known for like your guys' defense. I don't know if you guys know this, but you guys probably do. So let me stroke your ego a little bit.
Oh.
Okay.
Well, Riley, there was a couple articles from like your hometown or whatever about you guys, because you're celebrities there. And like you specifically were quoted basically being like, we love to grind out our opponents because when we're on defense, like there's nothing getting by us. Basically, I'm, paraphrasing, but like that's true. Every time I've ever watched you guys, like I feel like your defense is like second to none really when it comes to a mixed doubles pair for sure. So I feel like you guys kind of love living in like the baseline defense scenario because you're like, we got this.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
even.
So
Oh, go ahead, Gal. Go ahead.
yeah, I was just gonna say, like, how did you guys get so good at that? It was kind of just a feeling thing, because they say you can hear a lot of things like don't come off the baseline or don't come off the kitchen line, but like I do that when I feel like I'm in trouble. But like you guys can really dig balls out. Like, where does that come from?
Yeah, I think it probably goes back to the tennis days of, being like backboards back there, always just trying to get one more shot back. And, in those long rallies, if you come out on top, you not only get like a mental edge, but then your stamina. I mean, if you're good at stamina wise, you can create an edge that way too. So we love the long points. If we're digging out shots, our opponents hate it because they don't want to hit another shot.
Yeah.
So if we end up winning one of those big points, it's usually just a huge momentum shift in a match. I remember actually Lauren was doing one of our matches in Grand
Yeah.
Rapids, and it was a long, long
You and the
battle.
stone wall.
The
Yeah.
stone wall. And I think it was 8-7 in that game to 15. We won that, so it got us to 9-7, and then
Yeah.
we didn't drop a point the rest of the match. So those
Yeah,
long
that was
defensive
huge.
battles are huge momentums, and I get a little love after getting some of those shots back, and I know Lindsay does too.
And honestly, our philosophy, I think, has always been to like just hit one more shot than your opponent,
Yep.
and we've kind of strived on that, and we like grinding it out. We enjoy being out on the court and trying to be like human backboards. We also really like playing offense, but I think we're just very comfortable playing defense too, and we thoroughly enjoy seeing the frustration on our opponents' faces when they think the point's over and we just happen to get the ball back again, and we get a lot of points that way by people
Yep.
thinking the point's over, and we however we get the ball back, and then they get so mad they tank into the net or they tank it way far out, and that
Or they've
that gives
mentally
us.
already won the point and they're like moving on.
Yeah,
Right,
and that
right.
gives
They're
us
like,
some
"Oh, wait."
motivation. We're like, okay, that was fun. Let's do it again.
Right.
So
Ernie, what do you mean? Do either of them play singles? They both are like the top singles people also.
I don't know.
So
about
yeah, I
that.
mean, like
See, that's why I got to
you can
change my
speak to
grip
that
because
too.
I'm not known yet in singles. I got to change my grip.
I don't know. I think
that.
both you guys are pretty well known in the singles game as well. And did you guys play singles in tennis ever or
Yes.
Yeah,
mostly? I know
that's
it's always different because I feel like tennis is like mostly singles or pickleball is mostly doubles. But I feel like, do you guys enjoy singles and pickleball? I know that's obviously like the harder version to play in pickleball, but obviously you guys do it and seem to love it. So how does that compare with like playing doubles for you guys?
yeah. I mean, for tennis, like singles was our game. Like we only played singles. Growing up and doing like the USTA tennis tournaments, we pretty much just played singles, and then through high school we played singles, and then in college, you actually play both. So we would do singles and doubles, but I think we both really preferred the singles aspect, just because of that
One versus one.
competitiveness. We like the dog eat dog sort of thing. We like being responsible for a loss and not being able to blame our partners or anything like that.
And then when you win, all the glory is
And then when you
yours.
win, all the glory is ours. So yeah, I mean, I think we really, really like the pickleball singles too. Again, we're still kind of learning all the different strategies because it's so different than what we were used to in tennis. But we like singles. We are, now that Riley just moved to Phoenix or Arizona area, we're starting to practice a little bit more together. As you guys probably know, there isn't a whole lot of singles players in the game. So being able to have a good practice partner is really, really nice, and something we enjoy doing, trying to beat up on each other as much as we can.
Of course.
Yeah.
Well, this is like a slightly side note. I was going to bring this up earlier, but so you guys are both in the Phoenix area, but so you guys are from Washington, like you went to school, Seattle, like all that, like family there. So since with jobs and stuff, like you guys travel a lot pickleball, so like why Arizona? Like how did you guys land in Arizona of all places?
Well, first, Riley, you spent some time in California, correct?
Yep. I actually started playing pickleball in Seattle, and then after my second week of pickleball, I moved down to LA for the basketball thing. I was reffing down there, and that's where I got hooked with, Jeff Warnick and some of those guys down in LA. I was there for a couple of years, and then I just moved here last month. I got a house in Phoenix, so I'll be able to play with Lindsey a lot more. But Phoenix is home now, but I was in LA for a couple of years.
And a little rumor was that you were on a TV show. Is that correct? Were you an extra on a TV show?
Oh my God.
Is this true?
Yeah. Yeah. Kyle, you are a man.
A little foray into the acting?
Yeah, so I was on the show Ballers with The Rock.
What? HBO?
Really?
Yeah.
What
so
is this ABC nonsense? Get out of here with that crap. He was on HBO.
Yay!
So I was on a couple of those shows, nothing too big. I don't even know if I had any speaking parts, but I was behind The Rock one scene, and the guy was just stacked, and I'm just like a little twig. And so I preferred to be not in his
But how
background.
tall is he?
Oh, he was huge. He was like 6'7". I mean, absolute giant.
What? Really?
Yeah, absolute giant.
I feel like that makes sense, but like I don't know, like I just don't picture him as being that tall.
He's huge, and
That's
he's
so
also one of the
crazy.
nicest guys too. I remember after like the
Oh,
takes, he would come and take photos with all of us. Super genuine guy. But LA was fun. Did a
Yeah,
couple
I lived in
acting
LA
things.
for a few years, so I did that extra life as well,
So
grinded it out.
do you want to roll into what we were talking about in the context?
Yes, so if anyone was wondering,
We're
in
sorry,
my
we had the
little
video.
promo, we did have a video. In my little promo, I referenced to Riley kissing strangers for money, which apparently I really apologize. You guys got in like a fight over this because you didn't know what I was talking about and you were like debating what it was about.
No,
Fake news.
You got me in so much trouble today. We had played pickleball earlier today for a couple hours at Incanterra with a couple of our guys, and then we went up to the pool to like decompress, like have a little fun, get some last minute color before Kansas this weekend. And Riley's on his phone scrolling, and he's like, "Oh my gosh, Lindsey, I can't believe you would say that." I was like, "Dude, what are you talking about?" And he's like, "Lauren just posted this thing that I kiss girls randomly for money. Why would you say that?" And I was like, "Riley, what are you talking about? I didn't say like read my messages. I swear, no, that was so you. You had to have said something." And we were in the biggest fight all because of you.
No, Riley,
It's actually
I
his
found
fault.
this. I found this.
And no, Lindsay did not
Thank
say
you.
anything.
Thank you.
I feel like, well, technically I should mention, I don't know for a fact that you got paid, but I suspect that you did. So getting paid was just my assumption in the situation, but there is a video. It's still on Riley's Facebook if anyone wants to scroll to 2017.
Was
and
it
give
was
a
it that
gander.
recent? Was it?
Well, it was
Yeah.
posted then.
Well, that's when it was posted.
2017.
But
Wow.
basically a girl who was like a well-known like
I don't know if she was
Instagram person or something.
I
Who
don't
knows?
know what she was.
Who knows? Regardless, a stranger to Riley was on a radio show, and basically the whole point was there was this TV show about like, oh, two strangers just like kiss and see if there's any chemistry, but they don't like say anything. They just like walk up. So Riley is the dude that gets to kiss this girl without ever meeting her or talking to her or anything. So she's like on this radio show, and then Riley just like walks in the door and is like, "Hey, I'm Riley."
Oh!
And then, and then
Yeah.
he leaves, and then like the whole, like, not because of you, but like the whole radio thing, just like they all die laughing because it's like the most awkward situation ever.
For sure.
And I mean, to be fair, like I thought it was a good kiss, Riley. It looked not awkward. It was fine, but I think you got a little slack for it being pretty quick. Was I think the situation? But explain yourself, Riley.
Yes.
Lauren,
And the people want to know. The people want to know: is this? Are you? What happened?
Yeah. Are you
Did you guys live
married?
happily ever
Do you
after?
have kids?
well, I guess you'll have to wait till the end of the story to find out. No, but basically, this was back in 2015. I just graduated
Okay,
college.
so it was earlier.
Graduated college. This radio station posted an ad. One of my dumb little sisters commented, tagged me, in this video clip saying Riley Newman will do it. So then the producer, messages me. I say, sure, why not? Let's do it. So it's a competition. There was me and this other guy that was in this contest. And all we had to do was go up, say your name, nice to meet you, then kiss you, and then walk out. So that was kind of the role. We did it. Most awkward, humiliating thing in my life. But I did win the competition. There was no money to be made. Zero.
Okay, so he did not get paid.
No
he didn't
money.
Get paid, everybody.
No
That
money.
is my bad. That's my bad.
The winner was treated to a date out at like an Olive Garden or something.
I mean, so you got paid.
So we got a free meal.
That's
but,
soup and salad life.
I mean,
Salad
that Olive
and
Garden ain't
breadsticks.
free, buddy.
So we didn't even go on the date though. Like there was after we went on the little kissing show, we were in the elevator and we are like, all right, we're not doing this, right? No. Okay, so then that was it. No date at all. I'm glad I won, but that was about it.
Oh man, I totally went on like a blind dating show when I was in LA. Got paid like $100. It was like the dude was cool. Like,
Kyle,
it was
how do you
fine,
feel
but-
about that? What are your thoughts on that?
We don't talk about her California life. She was
Okay.
actually in a movie too
Whoa,
Oh.
celebrity
True.
style.
True
here.
story.
Wow.
with Lindsay Lohan.
Oh.
Ugh, Felicity Huffman, Jane
Ooh.
Fonda. Who's naming
Lindsay
names,
Lohan.
though?
I am
Wow.
jealous.
No, she
No,
was
Lindsay,
terrible.
no
She
Lindsay
was
Newman though.
everything you've ever read about Lindsay Lohan. Smoke. All the smoke, guys, right now. Lindsay
Wow.
Lohan. Everything you've ever read is true.
So depressing.
All of it.
Wow.
Dang, how did you get on those
Yeah.
gigs? I should have got on
I
that.
know.
Yeah, that extra life is no joke.
No,
man.
it's
Talk
not.
about like freaking like 12-hour days.
$12 an
where
hour.
You just sit in a chair for 10 and a half of those hours.
Brutal.
And don't talk to anybody because you are nobody. You're an
You're
extra.
nobody.
You are nobody.
You get like a
Don't
banana.
look at the people. Don't talk to them.
It was
Like,
so
yep,
brutal.
It's super fun. Yeah,
So brutal.
it's rough, but it's fun.
You
If
gotta
you have
hustle.
friends to do it with, it's cool to just get like paid to hang out all day. So
Remember, I have
there's
no
that.
friends. No friends. Remember?
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Didn't have
Each
Lindsay.
other,
Didn't have
just
Lindsay.
each other.
I know the sisters weren't there
Yeah.
Oh.
to keep you company.
So we'll jump back to pickleball a little bit. So we'll
Fine.
switch from the mix to the men's and the women. Do you guys have a preferred partner you enjoy playing with? Because I know you
Or
guys,
someone you hate, whatever you guys want to say.
or
We
someone
love
that you
all of
won't
our
play against.
partners. We love everyone we play with. Well, I mean, for Riley and I, we've bounced around a lot. We haven't really had like a solid partner except for each other. For men's and women's, it kind of just varies tournament by tournament. But I don't honestly, I don't think we've played with anyone we haven't liked. I think, we're smart enough to be like, if someone does ask that, we're maybe not the biggest fan of, we probably will not play with them just because you have to have chemistry on and off the court, I think, to play really well. And we obviously want to win. So I don't think there's been anyone we've
Well,
played with that we
like
haven't
who's some of
liked,
your
but-
favorites that you've played with? Like who are you just like it was so much fun playing with this person? Like would totally do it again.
Yeah, I mean, me and Jesse Irvin do really, really well together. I think we mesh really good. She's really fun to play with, super intense. I like playing with her a lot. I played with my sister Haley for the first time at a tournament in Vail, Colorado. That was interesting. Love her
I
as
feel
a
like
sister.
Riley's suggesting maybe it won't happen again
No, there's more. Just a little
in
tension.
the near future.
A little tension.
We needed to work out some kinks, but yeah, I mean, we've had some really good partners. Who do you like playing with?
Yeah, I like playing with everyone. I think it's when you're first starting out, especially at the 5-0 level, it's so hard to get partners because, one, everyone's matched up for a whole year. And two, they don't really want to take a gamble on you because you're so fresh and so new. So you're kind of just taking the leftovers, so to speak, that first year. But the second year, this past year, me and Zane Affleck played a lot together, had some good results, a couple of second place finishes, battling right there. I have a different partner for 2020, But
Are you making an
All
official
right.
announcement? Can we make an
Is there
official
a-
announcement?
I don't know if an official announcement's going to come. I mean, you might have to work a little hard to get it.
Look
There
at all
is
the
one,
things that
though,
we
for
dug
sure.
up about you, Riley. You don't know what we're still sitting on. Don't make me blackmail you into telling me.
That's true. You guys know a lot of
Oh,
in-depth
that's
secrets about me.
true. I don't need
Right?
to say it.
And Lindsay, what about
Wait, no, Riley's
are-
telling us.
Yeah,
Tell me.
Riley.
Okay, how about
Tell me.
this? How about this? Let's play a little game.
Ooh.
Yes, we'll guess. He'll get it
Okay.
really quickly. I won't.
Now it's your turn, 2020. Who do you think I'll be playing with next year?
Can they ask like one question to get a hint or no?
Yeah, can
you
we
can,
ask,
you can
like,
ask a
some-
question to get a hint.
One question
Okay.
per interviewer.
Do you play for the same?
no? What state do they hail from?
Ooh.
Ooh, where they're from or where they live currently?
Where
You get one
Where they live.
question.
where they live currently?
Okay, and I'm supposed to say the state? Shoot, they're gonna get
Yes.
it. They're gonna get it.
Shoot.
Well, I guess he's gonna. I guess the rest of the people are gonna know now.
I mean, we're gonna find out eventually, aren't we?
Yeah, I mean, you'll find out in about a month. We're playing a smaller tournament together for our first one, but he hails from Idaho.
Hmm.
You technically have one more
I know
question.
who it is.
Who is it?
You have one more
Who is
question
it?
if you want.
Nope, he doesn't need it.
He
Who
doesn't
is
need it.
No, it's Tyson McGuffin.
Is it Tyson? Is it Tyson McGuffin?
Is it Tyson McGuffin?
Tyson
Is that your
McGuffin?
final answer?
It's either.
Yes.
Yes.
It's Tyson McGuffin.
Tyson! Come on!
Take it easy.
Good job.
Got
Sorry,
it.
I'm so excited. I didn't guess it. He got it. I literally would have. But I was gonna ask, do you play for the same person?
That's why I'm glad you didn't ask that question because I would have gave it away in a second. I
Yeah.
feel like, yeah.
See, like, look at him. Did you see him stop me?
Yeah. He
Like,
told
that
you
was
to be
like
quiet.
the dumbest
Not
question.
Because,
very
like,
nice.
Because I like that. There could have been a wide range. Like he could have said paddle tech, and there
No,
could have
I
been
was gonna say, do you currently play
Yeah.
for the same paddle
Lauren's right.
company?
We're on Lauren's side with this argument
Right.
here.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
but the people really want to know, Lindsay, is what about playing with your other sister? What, Charlie? Is that her name?
Carly.
Carly?
Carly, you guys got it. Wow,
Wow.
this is impressive. What do you mean playing with her? Like
I mean, there is some footage of you guys playing a
You saw-
tournament together,
Oh my
Video in
gosh.
Spokane.
All the way like 5 years ago.
no way. How did you find
where
that?
you pretty much just pushed her off the court. and
Oh,
said,
no
Go
way.
stand in the
No,
corner,
no,
and
no.
I'm gonna play the whole.
Wrong.
You guys end up.
No, that did not happen. No. So there's actually a story on that.
Look at.
She's watching!
here.
Ah, yeah.
Carly.
Carly,
Woo
did
woo.
Lindsay shove you off the
No,
court?
Carly, if you know what's good for you, you'll answer this right. So there's a story with that. So I actually had a partner lined up for the tournament. It was in Washington. I had a partner ready to go, and the night before the tournament was going to start, like we were going to start that morning, that night the tournament director came up to me and he's like, okay, like the person you're going to play with is no longer what did she say? She made me
stand off the court.
Carly
Yes.
lies, and you know that's wrong. Okay, anyways. So the tournament director was like, okay, your partner can't show up. You know, what do you want to do? And he's like, I can, you can pick kind of whoever you want to play with, and I'll just break up that team and they can play with you. And I was like, well, that's not fair to break up another team. Like, it's my fault my partner didn't show up. He's like, well, what do you want to do? And Carly actually came with me to the tournament just to mooch off like my hotel stay and for something to do that weekend. So I was
As
like,
sisters do.
as sisters do. So I was like, Carly, you should play. And she had never picked up a paddle. I think she might have picked it up once or twice, maybe. And so she was like, okay, I guess I'll play. Like, just kind of take over. Don't have me touch a lot of balls. And I let her play.
Well, you definitely took over.
No, I let her play in the round
You let her
robin.
hit returns?
I let her serve and hit returns, and then hit some other balls in the round robin. But then when it got time and there was money on the line,
Well, yeah.
had
She
to
knows
step it up
the
a little.
rules.
She knows the rules.
Get off the court if you're
She
not
should
going to
not
win.
act dumb right now. She knows exactly the rules. She was not surprised, and I even split my money with her. So she came out with
Well,
money.
that is very nice. Well,
What-
I mean,
What percentage of a split? I mean, if we
We-
go by the amount
we
of court you had to
actually
cover, it's
we
like
actually thought
99
about
to
that.
1.
That was a really That was a really big argument, and people at the tournament, we were getting different feedback from everyone at the tournament because we were asking people like, okay, what's fair? Carly wanted to do 50-50, and I said that was outrageous because she did not hardly touch the ball. So I think she ended up getting, I don't know, 30 or 40%, which was really good, I think.
Fair enough.
For off the
Fair
court.
enough, yeah. But thank you for
But I
bringing
mean,
that up.
she does have like,
Does she still play too? Does she
well,
still
that,
play now?
and she has the tennis background too, right?
Yeah, she actually picked it up really quick, and she did better than I got 1/4 of the money. Don't listen to her. That's a lie, Carly, too. Carly's a pathological liar. Do not listen to what she's saying right now.
This family, we're creating a family rift.
You are. We're getting in trouble. But yeah, she played tennis. Again, she's a little sister of ours, so she grew up playing all the sports we did. And she picked it up really quick and actually did better than I thought she would in the tournament. So she's still playing now.
Is she still playing?
She actually just won I think it was a 4-5 tournament in Oregon, like last weekend or the weekend before that. Don't really know for sure. But she's doing
Not
all right.
too shabby.
She'll be in Vegas. She's playing with our other sister Haley in the 5-0 bracket.
5-0.
So
Nice.
we'll see.
All right.
So let's talk a little bit more about Haley. So she was with Electrum for a hot minute.
Yes, she
And
was.
is no
It was a
longer?
hot
No
minute.
longer.
No longer. Nope.
Okay,
She's joined the good side.
She made a good
we've
decision.
heard that.
Hmm.
Yeah, we've heard some things about,
Well, you have. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't hear
Yeah.
things.
What are
You
you?
know,
Are you?
Spill the beans,
What are you
Kyle.
hearing?
We
What
might
are
be
you
hearing
not
the
with your
same
sister,
thing.
but I don't just
They require a lot out of their players, I think.
yes.
And
So,
I just
we
heard
get what you're saying.
sometimes they make offers that don't come to fruition, and stuff like that. So maybe that was the case with her, but
we don't know anything specifically about your sister.
yeah, obviously. But is she joining another
She's
team?
with Selkirk.
I told you. See, I'm here just to
Oh.
create
Okay.
drama.
Kyle's
and
making you
nonsense. He
look
knows
bad
all
right
the-
now.
Yeah,
He
Kyle-
knows
Kyle did his
He
homework.
didn't make me look bad.
Oh.
Just look at.
Just ask her because tell him about you can probably name almost anybody and I'll
Yeah,
tell you what.
he's like
Oh, sorry.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh,
uh-oh.
he just look at this. Look at what I'm dealing with, people.
Uh,
Flailing around, thrashing around over here. No, he's like creepy. Like you've seen this the whole interview. The stuff he knows about you guys.
We're
like
impressed.
No, it's
He did
impressive.
his homework.
outside
Yeah,
windows.
we like
He was
it.
outside windows.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, I
Well,
flew to
that's a little
Arizona
creepy,
last
but-
weekend.
it's been following you around for a while.
Had some cameras
in
up.
preparation.
We are very
Hey.
impressed.
The internet's a hell of a thing.
Yeah, it is.
That is true. And I'm more just like, yeah, whatever.
Sitting
I don't
there
care.
looking
Like
pretty.
I know what's going on now. Like I don't know all this old
So you
stuff.
guys brought her over to the good side then?
Yep,
Yeah.
she joined a couple months ago. She's on Team Selkirk along with my little brother Cody. He played in the tournament a couple months ago. He's going to be a pretty good player at Seattle
Family
Open.
affair.
So we got 4 members on Team Selkirk, and if Carly has a good showing
Wait,
in Vegas,
who are we missing?
Carly.
Jenny, who
oh,
Jenny, I feel like is what? They're your siblings, man. It's not hard to find out like who you're related to.
yeah,
That's
she
You guys
has,
are like
yeah.
very well known. The Newmans.
Well, I don't know about
There's
that,
a lot
but-
of you guys.
Well, I
so
mean,
Jenny is the oldest.
she is the oldest. Jenny's
Okay.
the oldest. She currently
And
lives
she
in
lives
Texas.
somewhere else though, right? Okay, yeah.
Yep, and she has 2 kids, Brody and Bailey. And then we have another sister, Katie, who better be watching right now. I don't know if she is, but Katie has 3 boys and then another baby girl who was just born in June.
Oh.
So she doesn't play a whole lot, so it's just mostly us 5 younger kids that play. And Carly is the only one without Selkirk sponsorship, so we're telling her she
So
has to have a good
Selkirk,
showing in
Yep.
Vegas.
You know.
4 of the
She's gotta
5.
earn- She has to earn the sponsorship.
I feel like you guys have like a little pull now with Selkirk, maybe to like make something happen, or you like know who you could talk to or something, maybe.
The results got to come.
Yeah, we don't want anything handed to us or our
We're
siblings.
not going to
so
hand it to
true.
them.
They have
Also,
to.
like,
They have to
Gotta
earn
earn
it.
it.
We don't
Gotta earn
know
it.
her. We don't
No.
know her.
Nope,
You
they've
can
gotta
play
earn
for
it.
your spot. I
Yep.
love
That's
it.
right.
And that's so funny you say that too, because we had this conversation like what I want, because I had a sponsorship with ProLite and we were talking about this would I want a sponsorship based on my play or just being like a social media Mongol?
Guru.
And I said 100% because of my play. Like that's,
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah,
But
it
so I'm
almost
on the
seems
train with
kind
that,
of
you
like
guys.
just, I don't want to say like a cop out, but just like a, I don't know. Yeah, I feel like
Easy
you want to
ride.
earn, yeah, like an easy ride. You want to like earn what you get and earn the things you receive. So
Yeah.
I don't know. We would probably
Well, so
we'd want
how,
our play
I mean,
too.
you guys obviously started out with Paddle Tech, like right out the gate. So you guys, when did you move over to Selkirk and kind of how did that transition happen?
I think we went in March, right?
Yeah, so we signed with Selkirk right before the Lakes tournament in the end of March. Um, and that was just, they're based kind of in the Pacific Northwest. They're really huge into family, which of course was super important to us. And we love their paddles, we love their message, we love everything about them, and they treat us really, really well. We enjoy being on the team. They took us out to Mexican food at TOC, which was super cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Anyone that takes us out for food, we tend to love. So yeah, we love Selkirk, and we get treated really well.
Yeah,
And
they take care of us. You guys even played the commercial earlier in the show. So even
Super
just little
cool.
stuff like that, they're building our brand a little bit.
Yeah.
They always have the waters, Gatorades whenever we're coming off court with a towel. I mean, they're just so player oriented and whatever we can do to help. So we absolutely love
Yeah.
Selkirk.
Yeah,
Enjoying the
like
ride.
with Selkirk, like it seems like they invest a ton in their marketing, which I think is very smart. I think it's really paid off for them.
Yeah.
That's exactly
in the
what
long run.
Rob Barnes, one of the brothers that runs the company, told us too at the beginning, is that they really, really invest in marketing and getting their players out there, and that's
social
one of the
media.
reasons why we made the switch, and it's been super cool. They did the commercial, they filmed that at the U.S. Open this year, and that was like such a new thing for us. We tend to not really like being in front of the camera. We like to just be out on some kind of court playing, and so that was a little different, but we liked it. And the commercial actually made our mom cry, so that was kind of cool.
Aww.
Yeah.
I think it's like up to
Even though
68,000.
Riley was like, she just death glares at me all the time.
She knows it's true. She knows it's true.
I know.
No surprise.
Love it, love it. So you guys are, it's funny because basically you'd be like, yeah, like I'm cool being on camera if I'm playing a sport and there's a million people watching. I just don't want to like talk about myself.
Pretty much.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, if there's a couple questions after we win a big tournament, I think we're okay with that. But other than that, we just want to hit Red Robin and just kind of do our own thing.
Yeah, even Red
Yeah, people
Robin's
want
a
the
little
Dairy
much.
Queen question.
Oh yeah, people are all about the Dairy Queen. They
Ooh,
want to
so are
know
we.
like, wait,
What people ask what they get from Dairy Queen.
oh, what do you get from Dairy Queen?
Ooh, we like whoever asked this
Yeah,
question.
the Dairy Queen questions are our favorite.
What did we get?
Like any chance to talk about the DQ?
Yeah, we love the DQ.
We've got to get sponsored by them. We got to
I
have like a
know.
DQ patch
That
right
was
here.
so dream. A
Didn't we
total
talk
dream.
about at TOC that they should have had like a truck? Like Dairy Queen had like a truck that like
We
came to
would've-
tournaments.
Would have made a killing.
They would have made it. We would have spent all of our winnings
All from
on
the
the Dairy
Newmans.
Queen truck. We would have come away with nothing. What did we get at Dairy Queen?
Smile.
We're big fans of the $5 lunches, with of course
Oh.
the $1 upgrade to a Blizzard.
Yep. So you can get a full meal plus
Oh,
Blizzard,
obviously.
$6 in
$6.
tax.
You
Can't beat it.
It's literally top
That is
notch.
nice.
Got to go with the Reese's Blizzard. I get it every time. All my sisters
Yep.
know it, so they don't even need to ask me, what Blizzard do you want, Riley? They already know it. So
Reese's, yep.
I
Are
love
you a
it.
big peanut butter fan?
Yep, huge. It's always number one. Even the deer.
Will you? No, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say even the Dairy Queen employees back in our island, we would walk in and they know our names. So they already kind of was already making our Blizzard before we even asked for it. So we just love it.
They'd see our big red 15-passenger van pull up, and that was the Newman family
That was their
van.
sign.
And they knew that they
Get it
would get
cranking.
an order in of 9 Blizzards, fries, chicken strips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Make their
love
profits
it.
for the night.
Well, Terry Hartley wants to know what motivates you more, Chick-fil-A or Dairy Queen?
Oh, Dairy Queen.
Come on, Terry, you know
Terry,
better.
What a dumb question. It has to be Dairy Queen.
You know that.
Terry, don't be stupid.
Don't be dumb.
Like, honestly, just ridiculous.
The peanut butter.
So yeah, back to the
the
peanut
peanut
butter.
butter.
Obviously, calm yourself. So, do you love peanut butter though, where like you will just take a spoon and eat it out of the jar.
Oof. I don't think I'd go that
Yeah,
far.
look at that.
I don't.
You're obviously not a lover of peanut butter.
Just,
How
just
dare you
plain
suggest
peanut
that
butter?
you
Just
love
plain,
peanut butter?
plain like that with something else. You
Yeah.
gotta have it with.
No. He'll just eat, he will go through an entire, like one of those big ass Costco jars of peanut butter. He could eat that whole thing in probably a week.
Is it the
Ew.
Jif? Do you like the Jif flavor?
No.
He doesn't care.
Yeah, I don't care. But usually we get this stuff from Fresh Foods that I really like. The honey one.
Oh,
Yeah.
there's like a
It's a
homemade.
homemade.
So that's
Like,
a little
whatever.
bougie for us. We're not that bougie like
They
you
live
guys.
that DQ life.
Yeah.
We live the DQ and the Jif. You can't really
Yeah.
beat Jif.
If we lose, we'll have Taco
We do
Bell.
have a
but-
Dairy Queen like right down
Yeah.
the road.
Oh.
We don't go there very often.
Oh,
So how'd you guys end up in Arizona then? So we got
Yeah,
you
we
made
got
it
we
there.
got sidetracked.
Yeah, we
Oh,
got
So
sidetracked.
like what brought you to Arizona in the first place?
so my boyfriend works for Boeing and he got a job promotion.
Oh, nice.
So so me and John ended up moving here last March, right after basketball season. And then our sister Haley was like, I love the sun. She wanted to come. It was kind of a no-brainer for her. And then I've been bugging Riley since I moved here to move here because of the obvious reasons that
Cheaper.
it's cheaper.
You're not doing anything with your life, so just
He
come
wants to
down
be
here.
closer to his bestie.
Oh, I missed the beach already, though. I missed the beach.
Yeah.
Whatever.
So, yeah,
LA
like,
has
it was just
terrible
easy.
beaches.
What? You didn't go to the right beaches then.
What beaches did you go to? Are you talking LA or are you talking like
Hermosa,
south
Redondo
of LA?
Beach, like south.
Okay, that's
That's
not
where I was
Los
at.
Angeles
That's,
then.
yeah, it's LA County.
Let's be clear.
Let's be
That's really cutting hairs.
But even like
Really
Santa
cutting
Monica was
hairs.
nice. I mean, there's always things to do at Santa Monica.
Yeah,
and-
Santa Monica's okay.
Okay.
It was okay. I get Venice was decent. It was so far away though. It took forever to get to all the beaches. They're
Yeah,
so far away.
everything's so spread out. Yeah, it is
Yeah.
brutal. But so
It's
then,
true.
yeah,
But he misses the
Arizona's
beach.
Arizona's home now.
And we love it. Love
So
it.
do you guys, I mean, obviously like you guys are super close, had no friends growing up but each other, have never, but like significantly though, like you guys all kind of went to the same college, stayed around, kind of like most of you followed like the same life path in terms of like schooling, sports, growing up. So, I mean, I know you said like not playing sports was never an option for any of you guys, but was anyone like, hey guys, like I have a question. What do you think about if I went to like Florida State for school? Like, what if I wanted to go to like Harvard? Like, was anyone even remotely like, I'm gonna do my own thing. See you guys later. Like, I'm spreading my wings.
Honestly, Harvard was obviously out. 'cause
No
we're
chance. No
Stupid.
chance.
You guys like,
So not
we're
Harvard.
idiots.
Let's be honest there. We actually.
I meant more like location.
Yeah. We got offers to go to other
Yeah.
places along, the East Coast and Midwest, and
Good thing you didn't go to the Midwest.
that was a good decision. But no, our mom, I remember we got like recruiting letters to go kind of further away, and she would cry every time we talked about it, and
Aw.
I think we kind of got guilt tripped into staying close.
They could watch all our matches. They were there every time we played a match.
Yeah.
We couldn't go away from home too far just because of our parents. We were so close with them.
Yeah.
That's
So
awesome.
we stayed close.
That is cool.
You can't get on mom's bad side. She buys all the Christmas presents and birthday presents, so we gotta be in her good graces.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
So did the sisters all collectively get together and were like, guys, we're gonna do long blonde hair. This is what we're all going for. Everybody do it. We're Newmans.
Yeah, I mean, we were all kind of born like the super fair skin, blonde hair. And so now I think if we got our hair cut any shorter, we'd all look like boys. So we like the long hair. We feel like it suits us pretty well. And it, if
Well,
you
you
see
did,
the long
to be
braid,
fair, you cut it at one point when you were younger for Locks of Love, because I think one of your friends passed away.
yeah,
But
one of my
how
best
how
friends,
short
yeah.
was that short? Because I mean, if you have really long hair, you can still like chop it off and have
Yeah, like
long
I
hair
think it was
still.
shoulder length, so it was pretty short. I think that's short. I mean, now it touches like the very bottom of my back. So I'm actually thinking I need to get a little trim here in the next couple months. But yeah, I mean it's long. I guess it's kind of what I'm known for, like the long blonde braid and
It was the greatest growing up. Like all of them had, the long blonde hair, and then we all had Heelys, right? So in the malls, gymnasium. Do you guys remember Heelys?
yeah.
So
Oh
we
yeah,
would
those shoes with
the
wheels
heels.
in them.
We
Yeah.
still have them.
Yeah.
So we would be like in a single file line,
We're like rolling around at like
going down a
the
single file
tournaments.
line. They got all the long blonde hair. We're just cruising down, and then I'm like the last, and everyone's looking at me weirdly, like, who is this guy with five sisters with long blonde hair? But they've always had it, and just been rocking it ever since.
Yeah.
All
That's
right,
our
the
thing.
people really want to know who's the best athlete in the family, because you guys all have a pretty good credentials. My bet is your youngest brother.
I don't know if he's watching
I
right now.
would. Cody is actually lining a high school volleyball game right now, so he's definitely not watching. But I
But
would.
well, like, do you mean now or like in all their primes?
Well,
I mean,
You
like,
guys just
obviously
tell
you
me,
guys are
like,
still like
who
young,
do you
so like
think?
in your prime still, but like
who
I
do
mean,
you
everyone
think?
at the top of their game.
I personally would say
I think it's
myself.
me. I think it's me.
I would
Oh wait, what? Not you? No, not you.
I would honestly say me.
I would think it's me for sure.
I see this is one of the only things we actually disagree on. And this you would be surprised how often this comes up in like family situations. This gets brought up a lot.
See, I think Lindsay was a very good tennis player. I mean, she was a three-time state champion in high school.
Yeah.
Killer, #1 singles at Seattle U for tennis. But that was tennis. See, I think I was more on the basketball side where I was, I had 46 points in the
Yeah,
game.
but I had 40.
Okay, but I was only 40. I had 46. And I was MVP
You
of the
guys are both
conference.
Yeah, you were both 1,000-point scorers in high school. That's pretty impressive.
God, that's so crazy.
Yep.
I told you he's
but-
outside your window.
But I'll give it to your younger brother, because who can start a sport his senior year and be like an all-conference player
Impressive
and
for
play
sure.
and play 5 sports in high school? And
Yeah, he was the star quarterback of the football team.
Yeah.
He did really
His
really
first
well.
year?
he just never did. He ever play football before
Maybe
high school?
middle
Maybe in
school?
middle school a little bit, but in
Yeah.
Washington they had tennis and football going on the same season, so we always had to pick, and I always picked tennis. And Cody played tennis for a couple of years, but then he really wanted to make my dad proud, and my dad really liked football, so then he played, 1 year of quarterback, and now I'm not the favorite son anymore.
Oh, well,
Yeah, who is the favorite child?
Yeah, it's not me
Ooh,
anymore.
It's not
me.
us. I think our sister Katie is the favorite.
Yeah, they love Katie.
Yeah, they do love Katie. It's annoying.
I love it. Well, so all this competitiveness and blah, 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 like I know Kyle, one of his questions was, so do you have, at least in pickleball, like a favorite win or like the best, like, yes, like I really wanted that one, like pulled off so far in your career?
Third?
I think it has to just be our bronze medal win at the U.S. Open this year.
We just switched to Selkirk a month before. We were playing Tyson, and Sarah, on the stadium court. Selkirk
Such a good
members were
team.
there watching. They were just unbelievable. And we ended up winning that one to get bronze at a podium at a big major. So we were pretty thrilled with that one.
And the fact that we had gotten, like Riley said, like 9th place the year before, we were so bummed and so upset about it. And then we came back and got 3rd. And we had battled through the losers bracket a good part of that day. So I think the victory itself was just super cool, and obviously our biggest one yet. And I think that one probably has to like
A couple of smaller golds, but I think that tournament was
US
by
Open
far.
for sure. We don't
Yeah,
like third.
that's-
We hate 3rd place. We're not
Well,
happy
obviously.
with 3rd, but it's a good improvement from the year before, and
Keep growing on it.
2020 we'll see.
I think that was really impressive, like at the U.S. Open, especially because like Selkirk just gave you guys those blacked out paddles for like
Super
the U.S.
sweet.
Open,
Super cool looking.
which were cool looking. But like I'm so like, you guys play tennis, so you guys are used to switching rackets. But like I get a paddle and like I'm so used to hitting thousands of shots of that. Someone hands me, like I can tell the 1/10 of an ounce off. I'm like, man, this thing is feeling weird. So I give a lot of credit to that too.
Yeah, we're not that legit.
Just right on the spot.
We just kind of pick up paddles and we can
Just
adjust
go with
pretty
it.
quick. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, half the time we don't even know what ball we're playing with. A Franklin and a Dura, they're
Franklin
all,
don't
I
even
mean,
really, yeah.
a ball's a ball, who
Let's
cares?
just play.
Yeah.
So, like, you guys got third at the U.S. Open. This question is for both you guys. What do you think it's going to take to, like, get over the hump, like, at a major tournament and
Well,
pull your first?
I
We're
mean,
talking, like, a larger sanctioned tournament, like TOC or the U.S. Open or Nationals
Yeah.
or something like that.
Do you know?
I mean, it's a tough question. I mean, there's so many tough teams out
Yeah.
there, especially now. I think Ben and Simone are going to play next year together. I mean, that's going to be a really tough
Yeah.
team. I think it'll help tremendously now that I'm in Arizona. We'll be able to practice a lot more. When I was in LA, I played with her maybe once before the tournament, and that was
Oh,
it.
yeah.
So be able to drill and play all the time will help us. Just
Yeah, I mean,
strategically.
strategically, again, it's just we feel like we're still learning and really new. And I think just the more matches we can play, the more kind of smaller tournaments we can play to get some good reps in, I think will help us a lot. I mean, we're good on like the competitiveness. I don't think we can get more competitive than what we are. I mean, the will to win is there. Like we want to win more than anyone, we think. So I don't know.
I
I
think
think
that sounds about right
I mean,
from what we've talked about.
TOC, I mean, even we got fourth at TOC where we had match point against, Ben and Jesse. So, I mean, we're close.
Yeah.
We're right there. Just,
Yeah,
a
for
few
sure.
points here and there. And I think might be a difference for us.
I think our problem is like shot selection. I think we're still carrying over the tennis game, and it's and sometimes it works, and most of the time it doesn't. But I think our shot selection has to improve. I still think we're hitting shots that we shouldn't hit, that we're used to hitting because of tennis, and they're just not there in pickleball. So I think if we can improve the shot selection, we'll start seeing some hopefully better results.
And Lindsay, you played really well with Jesse at TLC. Like, are you guys plan on playing any more together, or?
Yeah, I'm super excited. We're doing most. I have 10% left on my phone, by the way, so we
Okay,
might
yeah.
crash
It's
it a little
okay.
bit.
Yeah,
But
we're almost.
We're almost.
We'll wrap this up
nope,
here.
we're all good. Yeah, so I think we're gonna play most of 2020 together, which will be super
Awesome.
exciting
That's
because I
awesome.
think we just really mesh well. And so yeah, I think we're playing most of 2020, and Riley's playing with Tyson 2020. So we are super excited for the upcoming year, and we're
Ready to
pumped.
roll,
We're
man. Ready to roll.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
I have no doubt. I mean, Jessie, I think is, one like to watch this year for sure. The next year, like she's going to be huge. So I think you guys
Yeah.
pairing up is like an awesome matchup, and I think you and Tyson are going to be out. Like I would be shocked if, like next U.S. Open and Nationals, like if you guys weren't on at least the medal stand, like I'd be shocked because like legit, you guys are like up there for sure. And that's like you said, Riley, like a point here or there, a couple points off or whatever, and like you guys are there. So it's just, that's one of the awesome things about pickleball too, is like you can be down 10-0 and you can still come back and win. And there's no like, the momentum, the one game, you play the first game and you like crush a team. You play the second game and they crush you. And then the tiebreaker, it's like down to the wire. So it's just so like, just depends what happens. And I think you guys, like, there's no doubt that the skill level is there, and you guys are, coming from the background that you came, and just athletic ability.
And I just
like,
think with your guys' partners next year, your guys' temperament and mindsets are pretty well the same, because Jesse seems pretty intense and Tyson is pretty intense. And I think that's how you guys are pretty intense as well. So
We
Yeah.
appreciate that.
it's gonna be a good fit.
We appreciate that. We'll have to revisit that next year, along with Kyle, your other present
know.
from last year. You didn't pick me, remember?
actually don't know
You
who
didn't
it
pick me.
was.
You don't know.
Next year, 2020, Kyle's birthday.
2020.
yes, we will do this again in a
Okay.
year.
So
It'll
you
be
guys,
awesome.
have the pickle and chicken masters tournament this weekend.
We leave
who you guys
tomorrow.
playing with?
We leave tomorrow morning,
Yeah,
That's
we leave
awesome.
tomorrow.
Awesome.
I'm playing with Andrea Koo.
and I'm playing with
I love Andrea.
and I'm playing with Mr. Come On, Jeff Warnick.
Oh, we love
Come
Jeff.
on.
We love Jeff Warnick.
Yeah,
Did everyone see the nice paddle throw that we highlighted last episode?
that was legendary.
Did you see that?
I mean,
I
everybody
saw it
knows
live.
about
It was crazy.
Anyway.
You saw it live.
You did?
Yeah,
That's so fun.
went about 300 yards.
Legendary.
Like I literally would have been like,
Oh yeah.
I
always-
don't know what to do now.
I always tell Lauren, like, good thing, like, I don't have an infinite amount of paddles because I would smash so many paddles.
He
Yeah.
would
Which
smash
I've only
paddles.
ever smashed 2 paddles before, and that was early. And then I
Wow.
realized how fast paddles break, and I was like, I'm not spending
Not
this
doing
money.
that again.
I can control. So I'm more of a ball kicker these days. So
Oh, Riley likes doing that.
I like kicking the
You
balls.
guys,
Yeah.
you
doing
guys
that.
have had some good ball kicks in your days.
Yeah.
I
know.
don't. Riley
I
kicks
yeah,
more than I do.
I'll kick it a few times here or there.
I've had one
that
or
is
two
true.
paddle throws, but I try to keep them under like 10 feet, not 300.
That's
like
true.
Jeff
You
did.
have some very minor paddle throws in your career, but you know,
Something we got to work on.
The temperament.
I don't do that.
Yeah.
I don't do that in tournament. It's only in rec play. Like I get
yeah,
more
he's
upset.
like way more upset in
in
rec
rec play.
than anything else,
Oh,
For
which
some
is
reason.
crazy.
Yeah,
Trying to
that's
perfect in
crazy.
rec play and you're
Yeah,
worried
it's
about
like-
too in tournaments. You're worried about is a code penalty going to happen, a warning.
Yeah.
Obviously, nothing happened to Jeff, which is crazy
Yeah.
to me. But you're always
We
worried.
talked about that last week as
Oh.
well.
We love Jeff.
We do
Racket
like Jeff.
abuse. That's what I'm
Yeah, racket abuse.
Until we get some of those in pickleball.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're excited for this weekend for sure.
Yeah.
Excited.
Yeah, that'll be awesome. Well, I know Pickleball channel I think is
Will be
streaming
that, so-
Yep,
for the
yep.
weekend, so definitely we'll hope to check you guys out and good luck and everything. So we'll
Appreciate
we'll
it.
wrap this up though.
Yeah.
since
So
we're
what
at-
you guys think about your first interview? I know you guys are a little bit
Oh.
nervous coming on. I hope you guys had a
I know.
good time. Sorry
Besides
about
all
we're
the
that.
super
technical
nervous.
Sorry about the
difficulties.
technical issues.
No, all
Yeah.
good. We were
It's
super
just-
nervous. Again, we don't really like being in front of the camera in this sort of setting, but hopefully we didn't say too many stupid things or
You guys
Nothing
didn't
like
say
that.
anything.
No, this was
though.
super fun.
It was
I just
fun.
like all the shock on your face every time Kyle says something about your past that you're like, why does he know that?
No, we appreciate
Hey,
you
that's
guys
what
having
makes
us
it
on.
really
It was
Yeah.
so much fun, so we
Yeah,
appreciate it.
Thank you.
And
Yeah,
I
it
think
was
I
awesome.
think the people got to know you guys a lot better, obviously, because of Lauren and I's creepiness and
Amazing interview
yes.
skills.
Yeah, top notch.
yeah.
Yes.
And so you
Thank you,
guys,
thank you.
I think people are like, oh, they aren't just quiet people that mind
Yeah,
their own
exactly.
business. Like, you know,
Come out of the
you know.
tournaments,
you-
ask us anything. I mean, we're always
Ask
going to
her,
answer
yeah.
it. Yeah.
We're open books.
Just
for
bring
sure.
them Dairy Queen. Give them
Just
like
bring
a
us Dairy
gift
Queen for
certificate or whatever you
sure.
want.
Good
Like
play.
best friends for life.
Yeah,
Good
So
play.
you guys, if you guys just want to give your, like, if you guys have anything you guys want to wrap up with, if you guys
Yeah,
have
you guys
any,
anything coming
check
up?
out.
What's going on?
I don't know.
I think we just want to say thank you to
Yeah.
Selkirk. Obviously, they've been super welcoming for us jumping on board in March, so thank you to them.
We've had some really good we don't want to say like fans, but a lot of really good supporters. Donna is really awesome. Michael Porter,
Tommy Roberts.
It
is in
is.
there.
Roberts, like all these amazing people that
Will
will
send us good
message
job
us,
after tournaments.
consistently message us being like,
All
you
the
guys,
time.
great job, and
Yeah, that's
that
awesome.
really means a lot to us, and we appreciate everyone who's taken the time to watch us once or twice or anything like that. We appreciate, and hopefully it continues.
Yeah, you guys. I mean, you guys are one of my fave teams to live stream
Oh,
too
thank you.
because I
sweet.
enjoy your
Talking in
fun
the
little
corner.
quirkiness,
Yeah.
as well as your amazing defensive skills and all that good stuff. So
Well,
Yeah.
we'll come over post game. We'll come over post game next time, Laura.
that's okay. That's okay. We're cool.
So-
I don't do the interviews, so I just do the streaming, and then I'm like,
Oh, perfect.
no, you can
That's what
you
we
can
like
walk
then.
away.
I still like
Yeah,
it, but
exactly.
okay.
No, I don't either. Okay.
Well, I mean, Riley, if you want to, like, we can, but like, you don't have to.
Riley's definitely like the high maintenance one out of the doubles team right here.
Well, he
So
lived in
whatever
LA,
Riley wants.
so we
Yeah.
know
There you
what
go.
that-
LA
Kind of a
connection.
brat.
LA
Kind of a
connection.
I
Yeah.
feel your pain, Lindsay. I feel your
Yeah,
pain.
it's very annoying.
Awesome. Well,
All
thanks
right,
so much.
thanks
We
again.
really appreciate it. It was awesome
Hopefully
talking to
we'll
you
see you guys
guys.
soon.
Yeah,
All
good luck
right.
this weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And
Cheers.
we'll chat later.
Bye,
All
guys.
right.
Bye, guys. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Sorry about all the technical difficulties, but thanks for sticking with us.
We'll put the video
And
together.
yeah, we'll do a little editing, wrap this guy up. So thanks so much for watching, guys. This was sort of the No Smoke Pickleball Show, episode 3. We got through technically pre-interview without any issues. So if you didn't see that, go check that out, and we'll get all this prettied up for you guys. But we will hopefully be back with episode 4 in the near future. And me and the birthday boy here probably just gonna go to bed because it's
We're-
late
yes.
and we're old.
And
He's
we're-
even older now. So thanks so much for
And, yep.
watching. And bye, guys.